Good evening, everyone. So, as the tradition continues, I'm live again. All right. Today it will be more of interaction. Does a gap year impact your MBA admission chances? So, this is a very common query, which I've been answering from I don't know how many years. It's been 10 years since I'm teaching. This is the 11th one. And this is the most common query which is asked by at least 20 to 30% of students. By the way, how many of you have this gap year? Anyone? Anyone has it? So we're discussing from my experience. You're welcome, mother. Okay, so um, from my experience of my friends, my colleagues, and my past students. Okay, Devata has it. Manya in college. 1 year gap. Okay, Shikhar. So, see, gaps can be of multiple types. I'll just take them one by one. And what are the reasons are there for the gap? So, one gap can be after 12th. There can be a gap. In the cases like when people are preparing for, let's say, IIT JEE, okay, and they didn't get any good college or maybe NEET, all right, that is a gap year can be there. That's a possibility, a high possibility, isn't it? So this can be a gap of around 1 year. Then, after graduation, that is the most common one. So let's say I talk to 100 people, out of which around not more than 2 or 3 people would be having this kind of gap, not more than that. But after graduation, the gap of 1 year is very common. Like 20 to 30% people have this. 1 year gap can be there. Now, 1 year gap is possible because of the most common reason people prepare for CAT and they don't get decent percentile and they drop the idea. All right. Anudeep, yes, I'm going to answer that only. Sagar, I'll come to that. Okay. Then the gap can be of 2 years as well. Now, when the gap is of 2 years, this is no problem. So this emoji neutral, that means no problem. 1 year gap is like okay. Nobody will ask you about this 1 year gap. क्यों हुआ था? Nobody asked that. There are multiple chances, multiple cases where I have seen in the interview, they don't even ask why do you have this 1 year gap. They don't even ask it. And you guys are kind of very much, stressed about this. How do I justify that gap here? Because if someone's preparing for CAT, it's almost kind of obvious that probably the first year he or she did not get proper marks and they're doing it again. That is okay. Now coming to 2000, 2 years gap. This is something in which it's not a bad thing, but here things will be neutral. Now the reason is the first attempt of CAT and second attempt of CAT. CAT 1, CAT 2. Did not get good marks over here. Coming to this. So here also you did not get good marks. But majority of people whom I have seen who have gap of 2 years, after 1 year, they start doing some kind of job. All right. So if you're doing the job, just a minute, any query? Anudeep, yes, I'll just tell that. Sagar, Rajesh, 2012. Okay. Well, so now this is a possibility. Now, what all things people do in the gap years? Let's discuss that. So 1 year gap, I won't even consider. If the gap is of more than 1 year, that is what we need to discuss here. More than 1 year gap is something which we need to discuss. Okay, I'm drawing a neutral emoji because this must be justified, and in I would say in maximum cases they won't even ask about 2 years. That also happens, but still we need to be prepared for that. So what all things can happen? First, in this gap you're doing some kind of job, okay, and 50% of people do some kind of job, okay. Now the problem is not all people get jobs, because people, if they're engineers, or let's say they are from some good colleges, they might get a job, others might not get a good job. Even if the job is not that great, people kind of work for some time. Second is that you go to some kind of social work by joining an NGO. That is what some people do this as well. Social work in an NGO would actually, kind of elevate your chances of getting selected. I'll tell you why. And that too, if you're going for some kind of course which is like MSW, Master in Social Work, or any kind of MBA that is about rural management, all right, or it can be in corporate social responsibility. So these kind of roles, if you're going for, then this working experience will be highly relevant. Okay. Are there some more queries? Dual degree, resigned after 6 months. Internship, there are no updates. Madhav, I'll just talk to them. Anushka, preparation ठीक रहा था, तो अगस्त में registration डाल दूँ. Okay, I'll come to that also. Pawan, I'm 27. Realize that for me, CAD is more important for more objectives, but now I'm working, filling the time. Okay, all right. Karan, student of iQUANTA, joined this year with a goal to do MBA, written at 21, started my own kitchen. Okay, cool. Okay, I'll come to that as well. Third, people do some kind of second degree, which I think is relevant for Shikhar. Second degree can be anything. It can be some kind of master's. It can be some professional qualification also, like CA, CS, all that stuff, some people doing it. Then it can be B.Ed. Okay, now, listen very carefully. This is totally justified. Okay, in fact, this is the best thing. This is also justified. Here I'll use smiley of this, the stars. This is something that is great, a great thing to do. Coming to the second degree, this is something where people would or can be grilled to some extent. I'll tell you why. Or I'll make it a neutral, not the sad smiley. See, for example, let's say doing in masters in something like finance, marketing, operations, things which are relevant to MBA, business administration. It's a great thing. Okay, probably didn't get a chance to clear CAT, maybe not score well, or maybe you are not even mentally prepared for CAT. That is okay. CSCS is also okay. Coming to degrees like B.Ed, which have got no relation to MBA at all. Now, in this case, which I think Shikhar has this case, right? Any kind of degree like B.Ed, or let's say LLB, Bachelor's in Law. Okay, so these kind of degrees, you need to justify the gap year. Why? Because they will be asking you that if you are doing a B.Ed, you want to become a teacher. If you're doing an LLB, you want to become a lawyer. Then what happened in between that you want to switch careers? Okay, so this, if you are able to provide an answer, the best answer is, see, we people change, we keep on changing. Every year we change. Like 3 years back, I was just thinking that I should just, kind of work as a CAT trainer, get some decent salary and enjoy my life. That was 3 years back. Last year, I was awarded with 40 under 40 India mein leaders ka. Then I thought like, okay, I can, kind of start something on my own. Nowadays, I feel like becoming a serial entrepreneur. So that is my story. Everybody has story. People keep on changing every year, every month. So let's say you joined something like this for becoming a lawyer, maybe becoming a teacher, and in between you realize you must have talked to certain friends, watched some YouTube video, any kind of social networking that happened with you, and realize that MBA is better aligned to your current goals. Is that clear? So this kind of answer, if it is justified, that'll be okay. All right. So any kind of stress that people are facing who have done some degree which is not related to management, you have to justify the answer. So I just told you in one line how to justify. Obviously, when you'll be getting the calls and preparing for personal interview, GD and group discussion and writing ability, at that time, I will personally guide you what has to be written in the form that you're applying, in the form that, the application form to different B schools. क्या आंसर लिखना चाहिए, जस्टिफाई कैसे होना चाहिए, वो सारी बातें मैं आपको ऑब्वियसली सिखा दूंगा. बट इवन इफ दिस इज अ प्रॉब्लम, why this is a problem? I told you in one line, but you need to be very clear about your goals कि ऐसा कुछ मेरी ज़िंदगी में हुआ था, an event which is actually life changing, okay, that kind of event that will justify this kind of gap year. Is that clear, clear everyone? Now coming to other queries. Yeah, Niroj, exactly. So like Niroj just said, someone is from LLB. So अब प्रॉब्लम ये है ना कि अगर LLB से रिलेटेड कुछ चीज़ें होती हैं, जैसे कि HR, as you said, obviously in HR also we learn some laws. But let's say someone does an LLB but doesn't want to go to HR. उसे MBA finance में जाना है, MBA marketing में जाना है, तो थोड़ा सा irrelevant हो सकता है. But by the way, any kind of degree would be having some connection with MBA. If there is no connection, you can always say that, you know, something happened, some event happened with you, and that is the reason you thought of going for management. All right, is that clear? Suraj, the same thing. Political science is like political science. It's if you're a political science graduate, obviously you will be better at managing things. You'll be knowing the geopolitical stuff, etc. So for a person like these kind of people who can do an MBA in HR, organizational behavior, and also in operations, finance and marketing, the core branches of MBA can be far cry for them. But at the very same time, I would suggest that there is always a answer which can, you know, kind of better your profile. Okay, so that will be not much of a problem. Coming to some other things which can happen while having a gap year. So a very common query is, okay, I have a gap year of 2 years, but have I done any degree? No. Did I work with an NGO? No. Did I do a job? No. All right. So what was I doing? We have two possibilities. One, you preparing for UPSC. Have you watched that movie called Ranjana? When he said, तुम्हारा प्यार है कि UPSC की तैयारी 10 साल से खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा, है ना? So UPSC is one thing, and other possibilities are that you were just someone, you know, who doesn't care about anything, doesn't care. The two possibilities. If preparing for UPSC, let's say UPSC, so there will be question that why you want to go into MBA, what happened exactly. Obviously UPSC का जो clear करने का ratio बहुत कम है, आप बोल सकते हो, but at the very same time you can always have an answer that while preparing for UPSC I got to know that how UPSC is also kind of administration, IAS if I say. So preparing for UPSC actually, you know, kind of expose you to a greater world, to greater, I would say, to greater areas, to greater heights. You got to know more about how the country works, how the trade works, what's the relation between two different countries, what's global business. So depending on that, you thought like, okay, I'm not able to, unfortunately, not clear UPSC, but I thought like, okay, what all things I have learned, MBA can also give me similar kind of joy, similar kind of experience. Clear? That's also a possibility. Let me look at some more queries if there are any. Satya? 25. Yeah, I'll come to these people also. Computer engineers, श्याम कोई बात नहीं, वो तो अच्छी बात है. Computer engineers. Coming to retail business, okay, I'll come to that. Do you like BA, LLB considered as gap? No, Shikhar, they're not considered as gap. No, it's just that you need to justify that why after these kind of degrees you're going for management. That's it. Psychology grad, one gap year is not a problem. 2012 government sector. Rajesh, I think we talked, isn't it? चलो आगे बताता हूँ मैं. Well, so people who don't care, these are the people who are grilled the most in an MBA interview. क्यों नहीं कर पाए, क्या कर रहे थे, वगैरह वगैरह वगैरह. तो इसके लिए भी एक अच्छे आंसर्स बन सकते हैं. So these kind of answers will obviously discussed by me when the right time comes. Now coming to a very important section of CAT aspirants, the people who wrote CAT in 2024 but did not score well, and it was a gap. So they're not working. There is a gap of, let's say, already 6 months, because you must have graduated in the month of May or June. Okay, now this gap will continue, and they want to prepare for CAT 2025, but they don't have a job in hand. How many people are like this? This is the majority of people, I think, who are watching the stream right now, or also who will be watching the recording. सबसे maximum लोग यही होते हैं ना. Let me look at the queries. Niroj is someone like that. Rochelle, no. You'll be graduating in 26th, that'll not be gap year. 3 years gap, 5 years real business experience. Okay, I'll come to that also. Already past that phase. Okay. So these kind of people, or also there can be some people who did not perform well in CAT 23 also. But I'm assuming that they might be working somewhere, isn't it? The problem is the people who are not working. Just a minute. So these people might be working somewhere. These people who are not working, there's no job. Now what they should do, okay? So there are multiple ideas what needs to be done. First, get a job. But it's not always possible. Probably the jobs are not there in the market, or maybe the kind of job that you want is not there, or maybe job is very demanding and which can, kill the chances of preparation of CAT, like in the case of Anushka. Right, Anushka? As you're thinking August mein resign kar dungi. That is one possibility. Other possibility is you can start doing some kind of certificate courses. For example, a certificate in finance or certificate in financial management, and always try to do, because now you already know 1 साल निकल चुका है, MBA ही करना है, कुछ और तो करना नहीं है, और MBA फाइनेंस में करना है, मार्केटिंग में करना है, किसमें करना मालूम पड़ ही चुका होगा. तो सर्टिफिकेट कोर्स कर लो. The courses can be ranging from few weeks to 6 months. These kind of courses being provided by different kind of skills based websites. For example, Udemy can be there, Google Skills can be there. There are multiple things like that. Even some universities provide you certificate courses of 3 months to 6 months. IAFT has that. So this is the best way to clear that. Okay, in case you don't have a business, any kind of job. All right, now, one more thing is, if you have a family business, it's not always possible for all the people across India. Family businesses are majorly concentrated towards Punjab, Gujarat, and states like that, or Delhi, NCR. But not everyone has that. If you have family business, you can work there, but make sure this is a very critical case. Very critical case. Here to make sure about certain things. First, that you get a salary slip. And you get real salaries in your account. वो कैश वैश में मत कराना. कैश में करा लिया है तो उसके तरीके भी हैं, but salary in account should be there. Salary should be there, salary in account should be there. Your joining letter, everything must be there. The entire hierarchy, who are reporting to, who are reportees, all that stuff must be there, just like a normal job. अगर ऐसा कर सकते हो तो अच्छी बात है. That is very possible, very much important. Okay, and family business में ये चीज़ें करना काफ़ी आसान होता है, and you know people in B schools they know it already कि ये भाई कोई भी आसानी से बना सकता है. इसीलिए इसको तुम कभी फैब्रिकेट मत करना. Any kind of lie would be kind of they will catch it. So this should be real. All right. If that is possible, family business is a great thing. Devdatta, as I told you, certificate courses, let's say you want to go into MBA Finance, do a course like Financial Management, certificate course. You want to go into HR, do a course for organizational business, organizational behavior. So any kind of course that is in sync with your future MBA, just do that. All right. Sagar, I think trust, I already told you, NGO. पहले ही बता चुका हूँ. ऋषि, जितने महीने तुमने काम किया उतने महीने की सैलरी स्लिप चाहिए. कृतिबश, internship. Okay, coming to that. Any kind of internship that is happening after graduation, post graduation, will be considered. If the internship is during your graduation, it won't be considered as a work experience. By the way, it's not even a gap year then. So if you have internship which you are doing, pursuing after graduation, it's a good thing. That won't be a gap year. Advanced Excel certificate, yeah, that can be done. ठीक है. फिर कुछ ऐसे सर्टिफिकेट्स हैं जो मैथमेटिकल स्टैटिस्टिकल सर्टिफिकेट्स हैं, क्योंकि आजकल हर जगह it's mathematics and stats only. So any kind of certificate in like Excel, you know, any database management systems, Python programming, all right. And that too, if you want to go into finance, any kind of statistical tool that you have, you know, kind of gone through, all these courses will be highly relevant to future MBA. All right. P.S. If proprietorship is father's name, not a problem. You can show yourself to be an employee of their proprietorship firm. ऋषि, internship, yes. ग्रेजुएशन के बाद अगर तुम कर रहे हो इंटर्नशिप तो उसे गैप नहीं काउंट किया जाएगा, पर ग्रेजुएशन के साथ अगर कर रहे हो तो इंटर्नशिप वुड नॉट बी काउंटेड एज अ वर्क एक्सपीरियंस. ओके. Shikhar, yeah, sure. All right. So these things can be done. Okay, now coming to the people who have a gap of more than 2 years. More than 2 years. Like we had someone who had a gap of, who did graduation in 2012. यार 12 में किया ना यार, पता है 13 में मैंने किया था. तो हम लोग ऑलमोस्ट ना सेम ही है. I'll tell you. So I'm assuming that you might be working somewhere, obviously. More than 2 years, जो लोग 2012 से लेके let's say 2021 तक में जो ग्रेजुएशन किया है, how many people are there like this? 2012 to 2021. Anyone here? तो इसमें कौन कौन से लोग पॉसिबल हैं? Let me go through that. First is obviously UPSC. As I told you, है ना, प्यार है UPSC, 10 साल से खत्म ही नहीं हो रहा. 10 साल से रिजल्ट नहीं आ रहा. Second is that you are working somewhere. एक जॉब कर रहे थे, you got stuck in the job. Now you feel there is no growth. That's another. Rajesh, Karan, Pavan. Okay. All right. प्रथम डिस्टेंस से किया है, वो कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटी से डिपेंड इस पे करेगा, तो MBA कर सकते हो. There are some universities which are not recognized or approved by UGC, that won't be counted. ठीक है. Job, you got stuck in a job. Maybe you are into a government job. Okay, and that job is not a great job. You're working through day and night, and you're getting very, salary like peanuts. You want to just leave that and go into some other field. So for them also, MBA is a great thing. There are some people who might be working in armed forces. Anyone here? It's very common. Army, Air Force, Navy. These people, sometimes they have the short service commission. They get retired at 45 years of age, and then they prepare for MBA. That's also a possibility. Then also some people who are majorly bank cashiers, clerks, all right, or POs as well, bank PO. I have many such. Uh, I can't even call them students because they're almost my age. They became my friends afterwards. A lot of people are there who are bank POs, and somehow after 6 or 7 years of experience, they felt that okay, we are doing everything what an MBA, what a banker does in some private bank, and they get like 10 times the salary that we get. So they realize this. They might be joining this bank at 21, 22, 23 years of age, and afterwards they kind of leave it and they want to go into MBA and go to some private bank. By the way, these are the people whom I would say are the best people for finance, best for banking finance. If anyone is like that and want to switch careers, it's a great opportunity. Because if you've worked with the government banks, it's not a government bank, it's a government undertaking bank. I hope you know that. No bank in India except RBI is a government job. It's a government undertaking job. You get that? Don't you? Okay, so ये बहुत अच्छा है. अगर किसी को करना है तो finance में जाना, it's a great thing. This kind of work is counted a lot. Now, what is the problem in this? All these possibilities are there. Okay, now, what is the problem? I'll tell you the problem. See, what happens in top IIMs, 5 marks out of 100 marks are for work experience. Now, there's something which you might not be aware of. Listen very carefully. This is out there. If you Google it out and if you look at the notifications of IIMs, you'll get this. But now I'll explain this to everyone, whoever is watching now. See, 5 marks, how does it happen? How the marks are given? All the freshers. Now, freshers are, who are freshers? Experience of 0 to 6 months. All right, they will be getting 1.5 marks out of 5, which I think all of you are. Let me look at other queries. Harshvardhan, family business, passed out May 23, should I join job or continue family business? Harshvardhan, as I told you, in family business, what you do, show yourself as an employee, having a proper salary slip, joining letter and everything, appointment letter, all that stuff, right? CAT-ASP, can I get CGPA like 2.9 out of 4 from IIMs, Mumbai MBA Finance be compensated or justified by heavy management? Not co-curricular activities, but by work ethics it can be justified. Okay, CAT-ASP. I'll tell you, see, how does it happen? Freshers get this much marks. Now, anyone from 6 months to less than 12 months, they will be getting 2 marks out of 5. Okay, for after that 12 months to 18 months, 2.5 on 5. 18 to 24, everybody pay attention. See what is happening. Do you realize this? And 24 to 30 months, 3.5 on 5, and 30 to 36 months will be 4 on 5. Are you getting it? So after every 6 months, you're getting 0.5 marks extra. 36 to 42 months will be 4.5, and then 42 to 48 will be 5 on 5. Now what happens? So 48 months make how many years? 48 months make how many years? It makes 4 years, isn't it? So anyone who has got an experience of more than 4 years, उसके साथ क्या होगा? Any guesses? Let's see who tells me that. Manishka, yes. After graduation, it will be considered a work experience. बताओ सब लोग, जिसका भी एक्सपीरियंस 4 साल से ज़्यादा हो गया, उनके साथ क्या होगा? Do you get that? उसके बाद some B schools, you know what they do? सुन के बुरा लगेगा, वो भी इसका उल्टा ले जाते हैं. हर 6 महीने में 0.5 मार्क्स काटते चले जाएंगे. Yes, exactly. Current, सूरज, exactly. इसी का उल्टा जाएगा. It's a kind of in a cycle. It goes up, then goes down in a similar way. Every 6 months, 0.5 marks negative होता चला जाएगा. So I think it's not suggested for people who have more than 4 years to go for a regular MBA program like Rajesh is there. Okay? Getting it? तो आपको करना क्या चाहिए? You can go for PGPX, executive program, but PGPX is, I would say, suggested to the people who are working in some corporate job. ठीक है, अगर आप सरकारी नौकरी में हो तो PGPX से कुछ खास फायदा नहीं होने वाला. For corporate, so already you are at some package, let's say package of 15, 20, 25 lakhs. You do this PGPX, it will increase by 50%, 60%. That is one way. All right. Coming to second kind of program, the MBA or MS from abroad through exams like GMAT, GRE, IELTS, etc. But I'm not saying the people who have more than 4 years should not go for regular MBA. They can also go for regular MBA. Just that उसके marks कम हो जाएंगे. तो ये मान लो कि कोई किसी को 2 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है, उसके 3 मार्क्स हैं, और किसी को 6 साल का एक्सपीरियंस है, उसके 3 मार्क्स ही हैं. दोनों को इक्वली कंसिडर किया जाएगा. Is that clear? All right. Coming to Priyanshu says, grad in May 25, going to appear for CAT this year. No, Priyanshu, no. I think I told that in the first minute itself. I think you joined late. Devatta Lala, poor score in CAT. 84.22 percentile, poor score. See, poor score depends on multiple factors. I'll tell you what. Rishi, I'll come to your... have you taken the screenshot of this? Taken? I should erase it. Tell me in the comments. But you can use this code if you want to enroll for any of iQUANTA courses. This is a kind of a discount coupon. Okay, taking the screenshot? Yeah. Now, poor score. You must have seen a lot of CAT trainers, people who teach you for CAT. Their percentiles are, let's say there's a QA teacher, there is an LRDI teacher, sometimes LRDI, QA, mostly the same teachers, and VARC teachers. Okay, so you must have seen very commonly across the industry that they have more than 99 percentile. Okay, QLRDI. Same happens with here also, these people also. Now, I'll tell you. This is in their own sections, in QA or LRDI or both. This is in their own sections. Combined, if you see, so these people have 97 plus percentile. You would say it's a great score, isn't it? है ना, तुम बोलोगे वाह क्या स्कोर है. देवदत्ता 97 plus percentile overall. In their own sections 99.5, 99.9, etc. But a person QLRDI who has scored more than 99 both the sections might be having just 22 percentile in VRC. Would you consider this a great score? Not really. Not just teachers. This is very common teachers example, but even the CAT aspirants, they also the same thing. So I've seen one of my students, he had got 98.9 percentile. Okay, more than 99 plus in QA and LRDI. But in VARC, his score was 72 percentile. क्या हुआ उसके साथ? He didn't get call from any of the IIMs. So when a score is poor, doesn't mean the score is poor as a composite score. Score can be poor even if you have a great percentile. Is that clear? So essentially what should happen? All the people, a great score would be something in which in all 3 sections, be it VARC, be it LRDI, be it Quant, you get 85 percentile, 85 plus percentile in each of these sections. And overall, if you get, let's say, more than 95, it is a great score, proper balanced score. Is that cool? So that is the reason that sectional cutoffs are also very important in CAT. Rohan, 3 months of work is equivalent to fresher. I think I just made a table of it. More than 6 months will actually be a working professional. Dipanji, yes, you'll be able to take that mission. Not a problem. Is that clear? So, all in all, we discussed many things. If I summarize it all, any kind of gap of less than or equal to a year is there, you don't have to worry a bit. If the gap is, it's like more than 1 year and equivalent to 2 years, you can just go for some kind of certificates, internships, and jobs if possible. Or if a family business, you can just, kind of have a proper detailed documentation of that. If the gap is between 2 years and 4 years, if that is the gap, then possibly you are stuck in some kind of job. Okay, so you can go for that because that will be a great experience in terms of the quantifiable marks. And if the gap is of more than 4 years, but you're working somewhere, go for PGPX or go for MBA abroad through GMAT, GRE, IELTS. You can also go for CAT for regular MBA, just that your marks will be somewhat deducted. But all in all, all in all, if I say that every kind of gap year is justifiable, 1 साल का पूछेंगे भी नहीं, 2 साल का भी नहीं पूछते, पूछ लेंगे, there are proper answers. कुछ तो कर ही रहे होगे ना, कुछ भी नहीं कर रहे होगे तब भी जस्टिफाई हो सकता है ना. So some people might have, एक चीज़ बताना भूल गया मैं, I did not cover that. People who have some kind of startups, like these days it's a startup culture in India. Some people might be having startup of cloud kitchen. Some might be kind of having some AI based startup. Some people have a startup or marketing agency. Even people can, work as a freelancer as a startup. One man company can also be there. So all that stuff is also possible. Just that if every documentation is there, you have your GST registration done. अगर आपने कंपनी बनाई है अकेले, लिंक्डइन से क्लाइंट लेके आ रहे हो, महीने के 10-15 हज़ार भी कमा रहे हो, बट अकेले चला रहे हो और GST रजिस्ट्रेशन हो चुका है आपका, तो इट विल बी कंसिडर्ड एज अ वर्क एक्सपीरियंस. सो देयर इज़ नो प्रॉब्लम इन दैट. जिनका इनमें से कौन सा आपके लिए एप्लीकेबल है वो करना शुरू कर दो. जो पीछे हो चुका है उसको भूल जाओ. उसको जस्टिफाई कैसे कर सकते हैं मैं सिखा दूंगा once the right time comes. All right, so that's all for today. I'll meet you again tomorrow. Pavan, your issue, what was that? I think I missed that out. Dev, yes, that helps. Agribusiness management, IIM Lucknow and Ahmedabad में course है उसका पूरा पूरा. Current, oh I love you too Karan. All right. I think we have covered all the things, but if there is something which is left, you can just, after the session is over, if something comes to your mind, just put it in the comment and I'll reply to it personally. So yeah, the video is there. It'll be on YouTube as a recorded video. Just put it over there and I'll come live again if there are more such queries. For now, do not stress over this thing. Just stress over, I won't say stress, but just focus on the CAT written part. Once written part is over, we'll go to GDPI VAT part. Once that is over, then these questions will actually be relevant. But you know what? Any kind of problem is solvable. There's no problem in this world which has got no solution. Okay, except how gravity waves were formed. Because time and space continuum is something which people are yet to understand. Apart from that, I think all questions have some kind of answers. Okay, take care. Good night. Rishi, obviously, farm experience can be told. It's a great experience. The world is not running out of technology, it's running out of food. Okay, Interstellar में था ना वो. That's a good experience of agriculture. Rishi, that won't be a problem. सूरज, यस, तो इंटर्नशाला के साथ तुम इंटर्नशिप कर सकते हो. कोर्स प्लेटफॉर्म लाइक यूडेमी, यू कैन गो फॉर सम सर्टिफिकेट कोर्सेज. Rishi, no salary slip. Rishi, do one thing. Just Get in touch with support staff, iQUANTA support, and ask them so that you get connected to me, because this will be kind of too much of variables which I need to ask you. Then I'll be telling you what has to be done. All right. Yes, Shikhar. Perfect then. Bye bye. Take care. Good night.